What brought me to this path was probably when I was about 12 or 14, my dad worked out here and he had an open house. He walked me down through the engine rooms, into the production gears, seen more parts of the ship than I've ever seen before in my life. And it just had a spark, and when I graduated, that's what I wanted to do. Came out here and applied for the apprenticeship program and got accepted.
I chose to work at Ingalls because I needed a job for one thing, and the other, I know Ingalls had great opportunities, and that was a way for me to serve my country by helping building naval defense ships.
One of the reasons I came to work here was I love to draw, and my mother encouraged me to take drafting in high school to see if I liked it. So it was a way for me to get a job doing what I liked and to be able to artistically express myself.
My dad got sick, and my mom wanted me to find a job and help out around the house. And I said, well, if I find a good job, I'll stay here. And that's what I did. I put in an application. Ventilation folks called me, and I went to go do the interview. He said, look, he said, pipe department wants you. He said, we don't take from one another. He said, they want you real bad. He said, if you want to go to pipe, we'll go to pipe. I said, let me go to pipe. So I left that, and I come back, and my mom asked me, said, how you do? I said, well, I told him I didn't want the job. She said, what? I said, no, some more folks supposed to call me in about a couple of weeks. They ain't started their hiring yet, but they want me. So that's really how I got into Ingalls.
So I sailed on APL container ships out of Seattle, going to Alaska and then a variety of ports in the Pacific. But I very quickly kind of figured out that that was not the career path for me. And so when I got back to Seattle, I started sending out resumes to companies all over the country. And one of those was Ingalls Shipbuilding. Ingalls eventually called me up, brought me down for an interview. I went back to Seattle, and then a couple of weeks later, they offered me a job.
My mom worked here, and I was in high school. I took drafting, and when I graduated, I wanted to get in the design apprenticeship. Well, I come down and I interviewed, but I didn't get in. And a week later, they asked me about either sheet metal or electrical, and that's what I did, sheet metal. So that's how I hired in.
18 years old, walked into the shipyard. I was so overwhelmed. You walk in and just see how big it is. As time goes on, it was just excitement of being here, learning new things every day.
My grandfather worked here as an electrician. He moved his family down here to work at Ingalls in the 40s, and then all my aunts and uncles have worked here, and many of my cousins. And my mother started here in '72 in the tool shop. Then she worked in the vault. Later, went to work in engineering and combat systems as a designer. Yeah, so there ended up being like 36 descendants of my grandfather that have worked here.
I've had the privilege of working with a lot of very talented, hardworking, motivated, very hardworking people, over the years. But the thing that's really kept me here the most is just the work itself.
Ingalls has been good to me and my family. Along the Gulf Coast, this is one of the best jobs that you could have, and it's employed a lot of people and raised a lot of families, sent a lot of kids to college, and yes, it's a great place to work.
You have to be dedicated to be a master at anything. You got to want to do it, and you got to be patient with it. Every day is not going to be easy, and every day is not going to be hard, but you're going to have them both.
It's an amazing thing because we roll these ships. This is some of the bigger equipment that roll across land anywhere. And I don't take it for granted because you actually build a ship. A lot of people don't get a chance to see that. Just to be a part of that means a whole lot.